Hey everyone, I'm Kevin with JcrOffroad. In this video, I'll be walking you through how to install our two-door JK roof rack. Now you can begin by kind of getting everything laid out like we have it here. Make sure you have 6 crossbars, both front and rear fairings, as well as 2 of these side rails, and then you'll have a series of mounts as well. We're going to begin by getting these crossbars mounted to the side rails. So for that, you're going to need to find the 1/4 button head bolts in your hardware pack, along with washers. And with all of these, we're going to recommend a little bit of anti-seize lubricant on the threads as these are going in. So then the last thing you're going to want to pay attention to is these 2 slots here in each of your crossbars. Those are for the T-nuts to slide down in so that you have a mounting place for all your gear later on. These we typically just place up as well as to the same side. We usually pick the driver's side, but that's up to you. So once you have all that sorted out, go ahead and get some of that anti-seize on your threads. And then these crossbars are going to mount into the horizontal slots here on the side rail. And the easiest way to do this is to run all the way down one side rail, then jump over to the other side and kind of work front to rear or rear to front and get all of those bolted in place. So once you get all your crossbars mounted to your side rails, you'll be left with something that looks like this. You'll need a 5/32 hex to actually tighten these up, and then typically we just kind of center them in the slots for now. Then you can loosen them and adjust them as needed to mount all your accessories later on. Now you can move on to installing your fairings. So we're going to begin with this front fairing. You'll want to start by installing the provided edge lock trim, and this is going to kind of want to cover from point to point here. So you can kind of just stretch this out, get it just past the point, and then pull it across and kind of mark this end with your thumb. And then using something sharp like some large wire cutters or the tin snips I have here, you can cut that off to length. Then once you get this cut to length, you can just start at one end and begin pressing that on and just kind of work your way all the way across to cover this full front edge on the fairing. So now that you have that edge trim in place, you can install this fairing into the rack assembly. This is just going to use more of those 1/4 button head bolts, and then on the inside here you'll want to find the 1/4 inch serrated flange nuts. Then once you have the hardware started in both sides, what I like to do is just push these all the way down in their slots and kind of lightly snug them in place, and that'll just kind of allow the rack to sit up on the fairings and that edge trim when you first place it on the roof, and then you can make some adjustments to that later on. Now the installation of your rear fairing to the rack is going to be exactly the same as up front. However, in the rear you'll just use the cutoff portion of the edge trim that you have left over and place it centered on the bottom edge of this fairing. Now with the rack assembled, you'll need to get the hardtop removed from your vehicle so we can begin installing the mounting brackets. Once you have the top removed, you're going to need to grab a 10mm socket and pull this sound bar down out of the way as well. Just make sure as you're bringing this down that you're paying attention to the wiring over here on the passenger side, because you will need to kind of drop this part way down and get that disconnected to get this out of the way. So you'll have just a little bit of slack in the wiring here, and then you can reach over top and press in that kind of thumb style tab to get this freed up. Now with the sound bar removed, you can jump up top here, and what you're going to want to do first is pull back the padding to expose the roll bar. So it's a Velcro up here that'll expose this zipper, which you really only have to pull back to about there. And that'll show you the 2 mounting fasteners we're going to use for this upper mounting bracket. Now the way this bracket is going to mount, it'll use those 2 factory bolts. It's going to step up and in like you see here, and then this longer flange is going to extend toward the rear of the vehicle. So what we're going to recommend you do here is actually mark and cut this factory fabric so that these 2 mounting tabs can slide through and allow you to re-zip this fabric over the top of the bracket once installed. For that, you're just going to want to take the bracket and line it up using these 2 roll bar side mounting tabs, and then you can kind of mark each side of that tab to give you a reference there, and then grab a tape measure to double check just how far back from that zipper you're going to want to make your cut. It looks like in this case it's about 1 inch. And then once you have that marked out, you can get the bracket out of the way. Take a nice sharp razor blade and just carefully make your cut through here. Now, if you haven't done so already, you can grab a 13mm socket and get these 2 bolts removed. And then grab your bracket, slide it through the 2 holes you just made, and bolt it in place, reusing those factory bolts. Then once you've tightened that bracket in place, you can re-zip this and Velcro it back in up here. So after you have those brackets in place, you can grab a friend to help you set your hardtop back on the vehicle. With the top back in place, you'll need to get inside of the vehicle here. And what you're going to be doing is drilling up through your bracket, using it as a guide to drill out through the hardtop. So here you just really want to make sure, one, that your drill bit is slightly undersized from these holes, and then that you're going to be nice and perpendicular to the bracket, so you're drilling nice and straight, and that way when you drop your spacers through from the top side, they sit nice and flat on this bracket here. So once you have those drilled, those are essentially going to be your pilot holes. Now we'll go to the outside of the top and drill back down through to accommodate the 3/4 inch spacers. So once you get up top here, you're going to need to open these up to 3/4 inch. That's to accommodate these 3/4 inch diameter spacers. Now for this, if you have a 3/4 inch drill bit, that's great. If not, you can use something like this step drill here that you can easily pick up at any of your home stores as well. You just want to make sure that as you go to drill through this, that you prop whichever side of the top you're drilling at the time up. I just have some foam blocks down here between the top and the body of the vehicle, and that's to prevent me from drilling into the brackets that we previously installed as I'm drilling down through. And then, like we mentioned before, just using your previously drilled holes as a guide, you can drill down through. So after you get both of those drilled and then at least kind of partially clean up your shavings, you'll take your spacer, drop it through each hole, make sure it drops in nice and easily, and then you'll also want the 3/8 bolt from your bolt pack to make sure that passes through easily as well. After you've completed this step on both sides, you can bolt your top back down to the vehicle body if you haven't done so already, and then reinstall your front freedom panels before grabbing a friend to help you set the rack in place. So now we'll be installing the mounts to the roof rack. We're going to begin here with the front mounts. These are going to be labeled left and rights, and you'll just need this inner portion of the mount at this time. And the way these install is simply by sliding it to the inside of the side rail here, and then sliding 1/4 button head bolts through these holes and into the slotted portion of this mount. And then you can back these up with serrated flange nuts. Now the last thing you want to do with this mount before it actually gets placed on the vehicle is install a piece of the provided small edge trim to this lower flange here. I've already cut this one to length, but you're basically just looking to cover this flat end here that sits down in the rain channel on the freedom panels. Once you get it cut to length, you're just going to have to start by kind of spreading out one end, and then working from that end, you should be able to just push this up onto this bottom edge. Now moving back down the side rail, this is going to be your mid mount. You'll have 2 of these. They're not side specific, and they're going to install just like this, again to the inside of this roof rail with the same 1/4 inch button head hardware. Then here at the back of the rack, these are going to be your rear mounts. Now these are more of just a bumper mount. They're not actually going to hard mount to the vehicle. So we're going to provide you these 2 rubber bumpers here that can be kind of just twisted through these holes. You may need a small flat screwdriver or something to help you push those in. And then once those are in place, you can take this as well, place it inside of the rail, and install that hardware. Now that we have all these mounts loosely in place, the rack is ready to be installed on the vehicle. Now once you get the rack placed up here on the roof of the vehicle, what you want to do is find the long 3/8 bolts with washers from your hardware pack, And then you do want to make sure you have both aluminum spacers slid in place underneath this mount. And then what you're going to do here is kind of locate this entire rack assembly from front to rear using these bolts placed down through the roof. Now with those 3/8 bolts locating the rack from front to rear, we can finish assembling the front mounts. So you're going to want to take the outer clamshell portion with this longer flange towards the top. It's essentially going to clamp in place here over the rain gutter and install using more 1/4 inch button head hardware. Now for the nuts, you're not necessarily going to be able to really reach your hand behind there, but they sit at just the right height that you can kind of slide those nuts in place before this outer half goes on. And then you should be able to simply start this hardware by hand before tightening it up. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and tighten the mount to the rack up here, and then come down here and tighten these 2 mounting bolts. Now it's a good idea to work back and forth on these so that you get this tightened up evenly. And now this will hold the rack in place while we finish up those mid mounts. For the next step, you're going to need to come back here and temporarily remove these mid mounts, and that way we can get them final installed with some sealant in place so that all this is watertight. So the first thing we're going to need to do here is apply a bead of RTV. I'm just using a Permatex Ultra Black right here. Seems to work pretty well for us. It's just going around each of these holes, kind of nice and tight to the hole, and that way each spacer has to pass through this sealant as it slides into the roof. And then you can drop those down in place. Once you have those pushed down tight, you're going to want to apply a little bit more sealant as needed, both around the spacers as well as on top, so that when we stick the bracket in place, it gets a nice watertight seal as well. Next, lining the bracket up with both the holes here in the roof as well as on the side rail of the rack. You can carefully set this down in place. And then I'm going to get both of these outside button heads at least kind of snug, just hand tight, so that you know the mount is sitting tight to the side rail. And then lastly, I'm going to place just a little bit more RTV in here so that not only the bolt has to pass through it, but the washer has something to seal against as well. Then you can take those 3/8 bolts and slide them back into the mounts. Now for the next step, you may need a friend to climb down in the vehicle and help just hold these nuts while you tighten the bolts from up top. These are a serrated flange nut, so they should kind of bite into that material and hold in place. But like I say, it's always a little better to have an extra set of hands. So now we're going to move on to actually setting the height of the rack using the vertical slots in the mounting brackets here on the side. Now we already kind of set the front height of this rack when we tightened that mount earlier on. You can always go back and adjust that if need be. Basically what you're going to be looking to do here is make sure this side rail is sitting nice and parallel to the side of the vehicle, and that you have adequate clearance once you put a tent or any heavy gear up here for any small movement you might get, so you know that this rack isn't going to come into contact with the roof. So then you'll actually finish setting the height with the mid mount here, kind of hold the rack in place where you want it, and then just tighten these 2 side mounting bolts. So then you can move back to set the final height of these bumper style mounts in the rear. For this, you're basically going to want to push down on the mount, holding it tight to the roof while lifting up on the side rail, which I'm kind of doing here with one hand. That's going to allow this mid mount to put just a little bit of pressure down on the back mount and hold those tight. So go ahead and get that where you want it and tighten these up. And just because I don't think I had mentioned it yet, you will want to have both the front and rear fairings loose while you're setting this side rail height. Once you're happy with that side rail height and you have everything tight on both sides on those mounts, you're ready to adjust your front and rear fairings. So for these, it's really pretty simple. You just want to push this down tight to the roof surface. Make sure it's roughly even from side to side. You may have a little bit of variation there. And then kind of just holding adequate pressure on it, go ahead and tighten these up. Once you've done that on both sides, you can jump to the rear, and that adjustment process is going to be exactly the same. Now lastly, don't forget to go back in and reinstall that sound bar to complete your installation. Now if you guys have any questions about this rack install or any other JCR product, feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at info@jcroffroad.com or give us a phone call at 269-353-1184.